All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, everybody's doing well today. Got some good stuff happening here in the opening at the opening of the bell. So, a couple things to look out for here on Palantir and as well on Adobe. We're going to cover a few different stocks here this morning. So, still, we need to see Palantir get below this 125. So, keep your eyes on that level underneath 125 bucks. 119 and 116. We'll see those areas next. We have Adobe, which is cleanly breaking below this 250 here. So software stocks, cloud computing stocks getting hit again. Today, Microsoft actually broke underneath the 390 level, start us off this week. So we did get underneath 390, currently at about 387. So continue to watch that rotation. If you tapped into the watch list yesterday, you heard us talk about Microsoft coming down this week underneath this 390, moving towards 377. So you have that. And then you also as well have Palantir, like I said, coming down here to 119 and 116 next. So we need to see a clean break underneath 125 here on ticker PLTR. Next one I want to talk about is AMD, which is still currently here at about 198 bucks. Earlier today in the session, we got down in the pre-market. You can see got down to about 195. So still waiting to see AMD actually break lower below that 193 level, taking a move down to about 186, 187. So you're waiting there. The QQQ is still at 605. You do as well have the SPY, which is only down about $1 today. So overall market not doing, from an indice perspective, is not doing horrible. Nvidia is up today, $3 ahead of their quarterly report. So we will hear from NVDA this week. You guys know that. Oracle it did hit TP1 today. So if you were in the Oracle trade, Oracle did hit TP1. So if you know you only had a couple contracts, or only one or two contracts, you can take profit. So it did hit TP1, which was 147. So it did break below that level today. TP2. So TP1 got hit. So take your profits. Once again, if you're getting into trades, I see a lot of people asking about Palantir. If you're getting into trades, please always make sure you're taking the targets as well. Do not get into trades and not have targets. I see far too many questions. What's the target on Palantir? Why did you take a trade and you didn't take the target with it? That's what I want to stress to people. Stop waiting on somebody to tell you in the Discord what the target was. If you took a position, you need to know what the target was on that position. Do not be waiting at the mercy of somebody else having to consistently remind you the target's this, the target's that. What's the target? What's the target? If you are in a trade and you do not have a defined target, you don't need to be trading. I'm going to stress that over and over again. You should not be trading if you are not going to be taking targets as well. There's no room for that. SoFi Technologies is on the docket as well. SoFi today is heading towards that 1809. So I know some people, we talked about this as well, getting below 19, making a lower low. So it's headed towards support. If you have been short in SoFi, you may see a little bit of a bounce here at about 18 bucks. So another name on the move to the downside right now. SoFi name we've spoken on numerous of times as well. So you do have as well OKLO, which is at about 61 and change. I do think that we are going to break towards about $58. So OKLO is down about 2% today. So I want you to watch as if we can close below 61, 66 on an hour or 30-minute time frame, think we could see some more selling on this name now. So really watch OKLO potentially draw down another $3. So keep them on your list here. You also have ticker Tesla, TSLA, which is back at about 402 underneath 400. So you're hitting support right now on Tesla. You want to watch this thing go down to about 392 underneath this 402. So you got about a $10 move to the downside here on TSLA. So keep your eyes peeled as well there. Could see a rotation out of this name pulling us downward. Covered AMD already. So yeah, it's just a brief rundown. I know we have been highlighting, obviously, being in Oracle and some people being actually even in Adobe as well too. Palantir, so we're still in Palantir for now. Oracle hit TP1. Palantir once again need to see a break below 125 to see more of a move downward on PLTR. So decent start on the downside for CrowdStrike as well too. Did fall. Is it getting back into the ranges that we discussed? CrowdStrike, CRWD should be looking at about 337 next. So 337 is where we're probably likely to go next here on Crowd. We will hear from a couple more other cybersecurity names within the next coming weeks. Also, next, we got Netflix, which is down about $3 today, 4%. This 74. So for my people looking at this at Netflix, it's breaking down. We're at the bottom of the bear flag. So we can break down below 74.88, start to transition lower, moving downward on NFLX. So we are looking for that. $70.10, 63. Netflix is about to get back to our prices. So for my people that want to sell some cash secured puts, we talked about that in DC on Friday. We'll talk about cash secured puts as well this upcoming weekend in San Fran. So from all my people coming out, look forward to seeing you in person within the next 72 to 96 hours. Excited for it. So yes, Netflix as well. Looking for a $20 move down. So you are going to see Netflix come down here. It's about that 55. So you're still waiting on that. But you can short that in the meantime when the opportunity presents itself. SanDisk is already off, up 40. Maybe MU can follow. They're already up 5% for today. We talked about SanDisk and MU on the watch list. MU hasn't trailed it yet, but it could probably is not too far behind. So those two, the memory trade may end up being on a breakout a little bit more this week. SPY is at 696. Qs is still at 604. So unless we're getting below 600, it's going to be tough. Obviously, if NVIDIA is going up, it's back at 193. So that's what's kind of keeping the broader market up. Is NVIDIA did go up about $3 today. Had they been negative, you would have probably seen the QQQ at 600 already and the SPY at like 683. So NVIDIA is doing a good job of holding us up. Palo Alto Networks at 146. Remember, $100 to pick up Palo Alto Network. You got Snowflake, which is down to 162. Snowflake, they're getting ready to come out with their quarterly earnings as well here on 225. So that's a couple of days away from us here from Snowflake. So right on the cusp there. Yeah, that's essentially really it. Just really some quick updates to some of the things we've already discussed and went over. Bitcoin's at 66,000. Robinhood's at about 73. You also have ETH, which got back underneath $20. So ETH, getting ready to head to right now. You should be looking for ETH, taking a move down all the way to about 10 to 15 bucks. So set your alerts. Ether, which is at about 1,900 right now per coin for Ethereum, per token, excuse me. So we'll see that move down to 1,600, and you should be able to move in on ETH and take advantage of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Just some slight notes. Once again, Palantir, can't reiterate it enough, 125 on that break below. Should see more of a move there downward. You covered all of those. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell that I want to go over. We got Microsoft obviously breaking down here at 388, heading towards 384, and then 377 after that. So Microsoft continues to get rotated out of as well too. So that is bringing your cloud stocks. Cybersecurity names have obviously retraced. You got CrowdStrike and ZS, which is giving the discounts that you want. You got Zscaler, which is right now at about 149. So they're down about almost 7% today. So ZS moving here downward. I think you'll see ZS get back to about $100 or potentially even lower, 80, $90 potentially could be on the table there for ZS. So watch that move. At this time, you got Oracle. We covered them. Gave you guys the notes there. Coinbase is only down about 5 today, so not really much moving in that regard. I think Palantir's break will really come fast. Once it gets underneath that 125, I think we'll see a solid gap down on Palantir, so PLTR. Snowflake obviously has earnings, like I said, so you should be good there. But once again, software cybersecurity names are rotating out of the same trade we've been talking about for 3-4 months. All of that is playing out. So you are seeing that move sharply to the downside. You have also Rubrik and Okta. Okta's down to about 71 today. Rubrik as well beneath $50. So Rubrik has came and pulled back down. That trade, obviously, you should be looking to get Rubrik in between 25 to $30. That's likely to be on the way here soon. Adobe is down to 246 now. So ticker ADBE, ADBE, 231. We've been talking about this. We once again said we were making a what? A lower high. Now we're making a what? A lower low. So Adobe down almost about 5% rotation. Looking for Adobe to go down to 231. We've been highlighting that. And Adobe after that to go to 204. So you see where the selling is happening. You see the weak point in the market, and that's what's being exploited right now. You also have ticker CRM, Salesforce. As you know, you can group all these names. You already know that Salesforce is coming down. Broke below this previous week's low. Salesforce is down to about 147. 177. They will be at 147 before you know it. They're going to be coming down here. It's all the way to about 128. So Salesforce, $100 to $120. Long-term investing would be a really great point. Right now, they have a 23 P to E ratio, earning $7.50. So these stocks are becoming cheaper from a price perspective, but these businesses are becoming more valuable ads, right? At these levels, as we start to see, they're going to hit these desirable levels. And so from a long-term investor perspective, I just want to encourage people, do not miss out on these opportunities. Then 2, 3, 4 years down the line, when these stocks are back at all-time highs, and you ask, when's a pullback happening? Or you sit back and say, well, why didn't I buy it? Why didn't I buy? These are the times when these sectors and these industries shake drops like this. These open up the doors for you to be able to get some really great prices on some quality companies. So that is that. Like I said, NVIDIA obviously reports this week, so they're getting a little bit of love today, even though the overall markets are down. Watch the QQQ at 600, the SPY at 680. Obviously, both of those names of SPY and QQQ have been range bound. Of course, Microsoft it's down about $7. It may try to retrace a little bit before going back higher. Going back lower. It's probably going to go back higher first and then pull back down again. So you really have all the notes and the tools to be successful. Once again, the volume is still weak. So it's not a strong volume movement. So the selling is concentrated in one sector, and that's the sector that we've been drilling for 3 to 4 months. So pay attention to where the selling is happening today. It's a very concentrated selling. It's not across the board. It's concentrated in certain areas, in certain industry, and that is your high growth, high PE businesses, as well as your cybersecurity and your cloud computing stocks. That's where the selling is happening. Other than that, you're not really seeing much weakness anywhere else. So those are pretty much the notes. I appreciate everybody for their time here this morning. I'll post this playback here for you in a second. And you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you.